I just heard a motivational speech from someone, and they said something that will forever be etched in my mind. And they said, I can't afford to spend my passion where there is no purpose for me. That made me think about, in relation to the type of content that I make, that made me think about all the relationships I got into in the past, where the man had no positive intentions towards me other than to use me for whatever he was needing me for. It made me want to talk to you all about how we look at dating and how we spend our time. And I just want somebody to know that just because somebody asks you out on a date, you don't have to go. If you're not attracted to somebody, you don't have to force yourself to like them. You don't have to give anybody a chance. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, because your time is precious. You can't afford to spend your time wasting time and forcing things to work. Also, you can't afford to spend your time with men who are just stringing you along. I just fly by the seat of my pants. You know what? I don't like titles. I don't like titles. I don't like titles. We'll just see where things go. We'll see how you act. No. At this point in my life, and I wish women of all ages felt this way as well, I'm not playing any games with you. What are your intentions? What are you looking for? And then as we're going along, I want to see if your actions are lining up with what you told me, because folks be lying. Men be lying all the time. I want to know what your intentions are. So many women are afraid to ask, what are we? Where is this relationship going? Because I don't want to scare him away. I don't want to scare him away by asking him. You're spending your time that you can never get back. You want to be serious with somebody who you can't ask questions and have honest conversations with? Okay, if it makes sense to you, I guess. But that should be clue number one. Red flag number one for you, sis. You know, yes, there are men who deceive us until we're somehow locked into a relationship with them, and then they turn into, a monster. But sometimes red flags are dropped right in front of our faces. But because we want a relationship so bad, we think that we can change them. We think that things will get better with time. We think that things will get better once they marry us. We think that things will get better once we have a baby, once we move in together, if we just love them enough. And none of those things change those men for the better. If you can't have an honest conversation with this guy, he's not the one. Well, I'm afraid to ask him where things are going. I'm afraid to he's not the one. He's not the one. I don't want to be around anyone who I cannot be vulnerable with and have honest conversations with, because adults know that sometimes you have conversations that might be uncomfortable. Sometimes you just have to say what you need to say. And to me, what I've learned in my life, a true test of a good person, to me, one of the tests, is I can be vulnerable with you. I can be honest with you. People are afraid to be confrontational. Confrontation is not always "knuck if you buck, we about to fight in the parking lot." Sometimes conversation is just, "Hey, when you said, this particular thing yesterday, what did you mean by that? Or, hey, can you kind of give me clarity as to what your plan is for us? Like, are we together? Like, what's going on? If you are afraid of confrontation, we need to work on this. Because as women, we've been taught that we need to be accommodating and we just need to accept things. We don't want to be mean and we want to be nice and we don't want to lose anyone. I don't want to hurt your feelings. If it means keeping the peace in my life, I'm going to hurt your feelings. Now, I'm not talking about being a jerk, but I'm going to have those uncomfortable conversations and say the things that I've needed to say. I have weeded out so many people in my life just by having an honest conversation. Not cussing, not yelling, but hey, when you said whatever yesterday, what did you mean by that? Or why did you say it? And if their intentions are shitty because they're a horrible person, then they might, well, it was your fault because they blow up, or they'll say they're sorry and then they'll stop talking to you and being distant because they can't face the fact that you called them out. And if they are a good person, you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't notice that I did that yesterday, or this is what I meant. Let me clarify. But being honest with people, being confrontational and being vulnerable with people has helped me weed people out of my life so fast and has saved me so much time. Because like that quote said, my time, I have a piece of hair in my eyeball. My time is I'm picking hair out of my eyeball and I can't seem to get it out. My time is too valuable to waste with people who don't have good intentions for me, who don't have a vision for me, especially a man. If I really just I don't think I'm the relationship type. I don't think I'm the wife type. I honestly think I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. I just don't, I'm too much to a lot of men, and too much meaning I stand up for myself. And I don't let shit slide. But if I ever get into another relationship again, I'm not asking for anybody to be perfect, but it won't be any rush. And I will need to see over a long period of time who this person is. Because tomorrow is not promised to any of us. Tomorrow's not promised. And I don't want to leave this earth having wasted precious moments of my life with a loser. I've done plenty of time doing that. No more. Going forward, if you're not adding to my peace, you cannot be a part of my life. If money is subtracting from my life because of you, you got to get out of my life. If I'm sitting and sad and calling people to vent about you, you got to get out of my life. If I have turned into an FBI agent trying to sniff up behind you and see who you're talking to and search your phone and search your social media and figure out, you got to get out of my life. You got to get out of my life. At this point, I want to feel good. And all this relationships are hard work. Well, y'all can keep that. I don't want to do that work. I don't. But y'all be safe out there, though. But stop letting people waste your valuable time.